I'm late because I got stuck on Catalina Island for an extra day because the weather was so bad they wouldn't let boats go in or out, which I know sounds very nice, but I promise you it was not nice. It was not I mean, going was cool, but being there and having like the Band-Aid ripped off of like, it's like Disneyland without any people and all the rides are closed, but you're still in the park. And it's like every single thing closed, like there's nothing to do. It's a town. We walked around the town twice, and that was in the first like 2 hours. And then you're like, all right, well, so we watched like 8 episodes of HGTV. And then
classic hotel TV where it's like, I guess I can watch yet another
so
Property
beautiful.
Brothers.
So this is
where is this again?
Catalina Island, 26 miles off the coast of Los Angeles.
Oh,
the fucking Catalina wine mixer is a real thing, which happens here. This is how it looked when we got there.
Why don't you just chop her back?
You can't. You see what happened to Kobe? You can't chop her in bad weather, right? So now, rip Kobe. But we did see people, chop her back. So it was so pretty, very postcard-esque, very small. We went off during the off season, so it was empty. And that meant that there also wasn't a lot to do outside of like, we rented golf carts. That's the only thing you can drive over there if you don't live on the island. So drove around there. There's bison, sick.
Bison.
Yeah, like wild bison. Obviously, like the weirdest juxtaposition between the richest people on planet Earth and then the people that are working there and living on the island because it is like Wrigley, the guy Wrigley Field, Wrigley Gum. That guy bought the island in the 20s, and he was like, I want to make it a place for everybody to come vacation because it's like an undeveloped tent camping site.
God, why didn't he make it his own Vegas with gambling? Can you imagine?
He did. He put a casino on it, a 12-floor. Pull that photo back up because you can see it.
Fuck.
And imagine my disappointment when
why don't people go there to gamble instead of Vegas? You take the whole place
because it's fucking closed. It's closed, and they closed it in like the 40s, and I'm like, well, or like the 60s, and I'm like, okay, it's cool, but all in all, I would definitely say it's probably better to go in the summer.
The amount of money that we're talking about, if you had a hotel casino,
look, that's the casino
right fucking there.
No, he developed this island had nothing. He put sewage, water, power, and a pottery thing, built the casino.
Is there can planes land on the island? Do they have a runway?
Yeah, they have a runway up on that. You see that tower up there in the top left. There's a runway back there for like little prop planes and stuff. A helipad.
What I'm wondering is like if you're flying across the Pacific, if you're an Asian coming to America to gamble, could this like also take that traffic away from Vegas?
No way, dude. There's so many Asians that love to gamble.
There's too many. No,
you put them all right here.
I couldn't fit.
Listen, I will say that the island, like it wasn't Vegas. Like it didn't feel like that. It was incredible. I mean, maybe, but it was like it's the smallest fishing town ever that just so happens to have stupidly expensive mansions arbitrarily thrown around in the corners here. And then
there's poor people mixed in.
Yeah. And the cost of living. Yeah, they work there. And I mean, there's 5,000 people that live there. So there's like an elementary school and a high school. It was my first time I ever went, by the way. So I'm just like, I read the brochure. But it was like, it was kind of, I mean, I looked the shittiest apartment. There's 2 places for sale on Zillow right now. Two. The shittiest apartment you've ever seen in like not the shittiest. I'm sorry. Just a very like $800 a month apartment in the middle of Iowa that is $800,000 and a arguably normal apartment that you would see in like a San Diego for like $3 million. And it's like, all right, we're dealing with like straight tiers of income that are exponentially bigger because this is not your primary residence. It's so inconvenient to live there. Did you see
the picture?
Fun.
It's it's Kylie Jenner and I think maybe Khloe Kardashian's house. Have you seen them? So they live next door to each other, and they both have like expansive mansions with, you're like, oh my God, it's like an L with like 2 more like L's attached to it and a pool in the middle. And then there's an arrow and it points to like, they kind of share a big concrete drive type area since they are neighbors. They just made it all one big thing. They're like, this is where the maid lives in this little streamliner. Those little like
Oh
like shiny,
way!
That shiny like metal trailer.
Ones? Yeah.
Oh, they don't have like a
maid's
shed.
quarters. And I mean, dude, this place has to have 12 bedrooms in it each.
And you got to assume that
That's rude.
They would probably have a working quarters in a house. Like almost all of the houses. I love watching me some house tours. Almost all of the stupid rich house tours are like, and here's where the people who work for you, the cook and everything live. Wait,
this is before it was finished.
It's a shack right here.
So this is long before. So this is a while back. I don't know how.
God, you are so rich, and you still choose to build the ugliest fucking like ranch style. This is like,
you don't like it. It's so many square feet though, because it's so.
I do not like the look of the one on the left. It's
the one on the left is terrifying. It's like a Walmart. It's like a Bass Pro Shop.
The one on the left is Kylie Jenner's. The one on the right. It says it right there.
Oh, Chloe.
Of course it does. The one on the right is close. But so
Chris is
because Kris Jenner is Kylie's mother, and for some reason they're attributing it to her. But now Kylie Jenner's a billionaire, so like I think it's probably her fucking house if she wants it.
I can't figure out if I like him or not. A lot of people like they see.
Well, they're not finished. I wish we had
bridges. Oh, they're not finished.
Not in construction.
This is
see the pools.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. You can't. They're
building these houses in this photo.
What's so upset? What I mean, look, is it okay? Is this what it looks like now? Yeah. Look how why? Look, all right. First, it's just so many angles.
Yeah. Why does the roof look like that?
Like, I'm with you.
You know where you see like an old church and then they add an addition to the church and it's very disjointed. Like that's what the roofs look like.
What I like about the roof as a normal person is like, oh, that's incredibly difficult to maintain. You can't put solar on top of it. Like what part faces south exactly? There's so many fucking right. I'm talking about as a regular person.
Yeah.
When you have a problem with your roof and you're likely to look at how many seams and joints there are, like that's expense. When you need to replace that roof, my goodness, that's like 9 houses' roofs. You know, it's a lot to maintain and pay for. Now they don't have normal person issues like that. So
yeah,
I'm like, let's say that cost is no object. Do I still hate it? It's impractical, but from a design standpoint, it's like you have to show me something better because I don't just knee-jerk hate it.
I'll tell you what I would. If it were me, the billionaire who wanted to live like in that area, I'd really want some sort of like penthouse suite or the whole top floor of a building, like those views that I've seen that apartment in New York. That's like the world's most expensive apartment. Yeah,
like the
is it $100 million, $200 million? It's something.
It's a quarter. I think it's a quarter of $1 billion. It's huge,
dude. You feel it's like Lex Luthor's fucking apartment. You're looking out. You're so high up that you're seeing the whole goddamn city of New York. Not like, oh yeah, I can see that. I can see the east side. No, you go to the other side of your apartment, dude. You can see the entire city like you're in an airplane. And like it's not only that, it's just an incredibly beautiful.
So a quarter. I agree that's amazing, and I think it's really neat, and I think I'd enjoy visiting it for sure. What's it like to live there? If you told me that it took
servants on call
18 minutes to get,
it's not gonna take you. No, you're gonna have a direct elevator. That shit's gonna go straight to your $250 million penthouse upstairs, and
it starts at your car.
25
so you're telling me I don't have to share that elevator? Because like,
no.
Whenever I go high in a building as a peasant, it's a pain in the ass. And I know that when people, so I moved from New Jersey, and I just knew people who worked in New York. Dude, they would dedicate the last 15 minutes of their commute to be the front door to the cube. Right?
I didn't even think about that because you have to stop on so many floors for people just to get there and wait for the elevators.
Yeah. But if you live there, do they have a solution for that? Is there like does Trump have his own elevator? He doesn't share with other people.
Well, I think we're conflating height with like traffic, right? If it's a very tall building and each floor is a unit, so we're only talking 40 people. So how many right versus like a whole floor of a huge skyscraper is what 1,000 people a floor, way more in and out. That's the real. It's not.
You're right. Yeah, I was extrapolating what I knew about people who work in big buildings. Like if you worked at the top of the trade centers before they came down, that kind of sucked. Like, dude, it was like 20
problem
minutes.
Solved though. Like you don't have to worry about it.
Actually, now you can get to the top of those buildings super fast.
Do you think someone got to work that day and was like, God, I hate working here.
These buildings are too tall.
I fucking hate every day there's something with the elevator. How could this day get any worse? Look out your window at 9:08 in the morning.
At last, they
that plane is huge.
So yeah, maybe when you live in a tall building, if you're a VIP, they solve that problem for you. But I just wondered, like,
you are not rubbing
house.
shoulders with potato heads if you spend $250 million on your place.
And the cool thing about that video, or one of the ones, is that the guy's like, you can see the curvature of the earth, and also sound stops carrying past 40 floors in the air. So he's like, everybody just stop talking. And it's like, okay, you can't hear any part of New York because you're so fucking high up. Like, the helicopters are flying 20 stories below you, around you, so you're looking down at them. And I'm like, I get a little bit of vertigo, but I understand it.
Yeah, it's like gargoyles. That's what I would do. I would get up there on my own little private perch. Because if you're down there, if you take your $12 million mansion, you stick it on a street corner like hers is, dude, how are you gonna feel when there's a bum out there pissing in your yard and like having to deal with like normies? You don't want to deal with normies if you're gonna spend that kind of money. I don't know.
I at least have a little more fun with it. That looks like the most McMansion, like kind of like
a bunch.
I'm sure that's not their only house that they live in. That's just one of them. So also, like, Woody, you live in a pretty big house, but you have a pretty big family, or at least you have like uses for it. I mean, 3, but animals.
Yeah, we do have big dogs. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. But I mean, like
family's got a lot of gumption.
It takes up two people's worth. But like, you can imagine a life with a larger home. But that's like a Walmart size 20,000, 50,000 square foot property. Like, what do you do with how do you get furniture and items it's like when you play Sims for the first time and you're like, I'm going to make a big house. And then you're like, well, I put 15 couches in the living room. Like, what's,
it gets to be a pain in the ass. So my house is nowhere near theirs. I hate to compare the two, but I almost want an aerial view of my house to show this, but where our cars are is on one side of the house. And then the farthest point nearly is the master closet. Right. So, okay. And it's not a long walk. It's maybe like a minute and a half or something, like, to walk across the house. But when you're ready to go and you need socks, we have an extra basket of socks in the house so that you don't have to walk all the way across the entire fucking house.
Like nomads in the desert. Putting water out.
That's great.
I love that.
Cool. So
okay, no wonder you have no problem with it. It looks the same.
Dude,
I mean,
look at this. Yeah, right. So the master closet is the farthest left point in this picture. Wow. He's pointing to the bathroom. Nope. That's where the cars are, where the mouse is, and that's where the closet is. Okay. So to get socks from there is a serious pain in the ass.
You're right. You literally have built the Charlotte airport in your home. This is how I felt when I flew in Wilmington and I'd fly into Charlotte local and have to go across the whole terminal to go to LA in the other side. It's like a 1.5 miles long. And you're like, this should not be allowed. That's funny though.
Yeah, so we store like certain pieces of clothing.
Dude, sometimes you just want to walk around your house in a straight line 200 yards. Sometimes that's how you just want to walk around your house.
I mean, I see Woody's knees in that photo.
Yeah, I do like that.
Wait, am I?
You're the cameraman.
Yeah, you're the.
I didn't even know that. Can you put it up again? I had no idea.
Your well-sun thighs.
Yeah.
I didn't even
that's the paramotor. Just fucking flying around. Yeah. Okay.
Weren't you wondering where this photo came from?
No.
I didn't even question it.
My privacy's so gone. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle's private collection.
I mean, like, where'd you get that, Zach?
Dude, if you look up my house on Google Maps, there's always some business there, like squad killing, PKA, whatever. And they just come and go. I don't try to moderate them. It just happens nonstop.